keeping. So what I do now is I just buy to order, and I go out with my sample books. I'll have a wee chat with the customer, and then I'll go and see you. I bring the carpet shop to you. So I go out with the appropriate books and have a wee chat, and hopefully we get it right, because there's such a vast range of products. Got a couple of things along. Because I'm independent, I can source any kind of carpet. The difference with the big retailers, who basically my competition with any of these big carpet shops you see around the place, is I don't have any overheads. Okay, I don't have their buying power, so sometimes they'll get a better deal than me, but it kind of evens out, because I don't have any rates to pay and I've got no staff to pay. It's only me. I subcontract the fitting. I use guys that I've used for years, and they really know the stuff. I'm very fussy. If they're not good, they won't do a job to me a second time. But there's some special ranges. There's always special deals and things going on. So sometimes I can get really good prices. There's a couple of ranges I do. I'll start with the cheap and cheerful one. This is when there's a new range due out this month. So this book is ancient, and there's all things with wee nibbles out and things where people have taken them. This is a budget carpet. I could sell this on a decent sized job for about £7.50 a square metre. It's always in stock. It comes in a range of colours, kind of standard ones like this. And although it's a cheap carpet, it's rated heavy domestic. It's not going to wear out within a few weeks. And I get a really good deal because I buy it all the time. It's one of the ones that is earmarked for me. So I get a really excellent price on it, which then I can pass on. And on the other side of it, there's, if you get to quality carpets, there's this wee range here. Again, the sample book's been well used. But it's a nice range. There's a whole load of different colours there. Quite nice, subtle. The kind of plain colours is very popular at the moment. And again, this is an 80-20 wool, decent quality. It comes in different weights. There's the way 80-20 wool carpet goes. Basically, it's the amount of material that's woven into the carpet. So you'll have the same colour, but you can go up to different grades. And the one that's the heavier one will be more expensive, but there's a lot more material in it, so it's going to last a lot longer. So again, this stuff I can start that from 80-20 wool, the starter one, which is fine for bedrooms and light traffic areas. I could retail for about £16 a square metre. Again, it does depend, because some rooms there's more weightage than others depending on the size of the rooms. So, but again, for 80-20 wool, that's very competitive. More products. We also do domestic, commercial stuff. So we've got, again, there's masses of different things for the different types of projects. So again, it's very much a case of having a chat with the customer, going and having a look, and then going back with the appropriate samples. And that's another one. This one here is a standard, probably the most popular contract carpet in the UK, and there's about 3 or 4 different manufacturers' versions. This one, the one I prefer using for Primavera, is the best one. There are other ones like there's Primatech and all, basically cheaper versions of it. But that's the one I prefer to use when the budget's okay. But again, it's not expensive. That can retail. That can be, for a decent sized job, like you're talking about £12. And that's a fitted price, that's on the floor. So again, that's very competitive for a commercial carpet. Speaking earlier about the chap at the restaurant, as I say, he's had this cheap domestic laminate, so he's probably 147 square metres, so he's probably paid £2,000 or £3,000 to have that fitted. It's only lasted 2 years and the thing just looks a mess. So this is the sort of thing that he needs to put in place, and this is, again, it comes in a whole different range of colours. But I go to one of my special suppliers, and he's got a bunch of stuff that's maybe going to be discontinued, that may be overproduced, so we can get a great deal on it. So instead of the normal price of about £50 a square metre, which would be about 7,500 to 8,000, we could bring it down to do the entire area for about £5,000. But that's the job done right. A lot of preparation in it. You've got to take away everything that's there just now. I'll pass these round for folk to have a wee look to see. But this is really tough, hard-wearing stuff.
So do you sheet out underneath it, obviously?
It comes, what you do is, for this particular job, he's got tiles, so you need to remove his laminate, skip it all, and then there's tiles, so you need to screed that. And then there's no screed, it's just it's like cement, but there's a latex in it, so it doesn't crack. So that's just needs a wee skim over, just so you've got a nice smooth flat surface. Because with any kind of hard flooring, a domestic vinyl, or let's say something commercial and really tough like this, the key to it is to have a completely smooth surface before you start to do the job professionally. And this stuff comes in planks, and there's a special adhesive, so it comes in strips about this size, so it's just basically glued and butts together.
Is it cardine?
This is very similar to Canada. That's one called Polyfloor.
Right.
Yeah, it's another version of it. Yeah.
It's that sort of
It's
product.
that sort of product. So it comes with like a 50-year guarantee from the manufacturer, provided it's been fitted properly. The guy I use for fitting the carabine actually troubleshoots for the company themselves, because they're a big international company actually. And if they have a problem with a job and they get a complaint, he's the guy they send in, and he gives the carabine a written report. Because if there's a problem, 9 times out of 10, it's not a problem with the product, it's a problem with the way it's been fitted. And that's the guy I use to do my fitting for it. So that's a wee idea of some of the products, but as I say, they're just fast, it goes on and on and on. So that's the kind of service I provide. I go out and I give people a free survey, look at the flooring, do you need underlay, don't you, that kind of thing. Bring along samples, so you give them advice, and then also a free estimate. So all that was, it cost nothing to talk to me before you come to see you. And then if we get the job, I take it on there and I just make sure the whole project goes well, order the material, delays for the fitters, make sure everything's sorted out. I give a guarantee of a year of the actual fitting, but many of the products that we supply can have 1, 2, 5, 10, 15-year guarantees that you get from the manufacturer. Oh yes, on to the wee bit I'm going to talk about now. There's a few wee things that I thought might be interesting just to let you know about, and it's some of the wee tricks of the trade that we use. A good one is if you're moving a kitchen appliance and you've got a vinyl floor, or virtually any kind of floor, especially vinyl because sometimes it can tear, is get some furniture polish, stuff you would use for a nice table, and just spray quite liberally on the floor. And that gives you, it basically just because of that lubrication. You can slide it over the floor any harm at all. And you can slide the appliance out, there's much less, it'll be easier to slide out, there's much less chance of you actually ripping the floor. So that's one of the wee tricks. Another wee trick using another domestic product is talcum powder. And we use that for a couple of different things. Yesterday was doing a job actually for Liam, and it was a kitchen, and there was tiles that were on the floor before, and there was a lot of adhesive, so it's going to be a lot of go when you walk across it. So my fitter phoned me and said, "Oh, what will we do?" So went across the road to the spa shop, so we bought talcum powder, and you just sprinkle it all over the floor, and then when you put down your new flooring, it takes the taskiness away, it can neutralise that glue. Another one that some people say is an old wives' tale, some people say it actually does work. But if you've got a squeaky floorboard, so especially a stair, when you're fitting a carpet, you put talcum powder down before the underlay. And as I say, it's a lot of people say that. I honestly don't do that one. There's something I say, oh, it definitely works, but I don't do it. I wouldn't say anything to do it. So the other thing I want to talk about is using a professional fitter. Because anybody can fit a carpet, but to do the job properly, you need somebody that is a proper trade. And a decent carpet needs to be fitted with a standard domestic one, with the gripper. When you put the gripper bar down right round the whole room, and it must be the spacing between the gripper and the wall depends on the type of carpet you're fitting and the thickness of the carpet. And what you do to fit it properly is you fit it all along one wall, and then you stretch it using a carpet kicker, and that means the carpet is held taut, and that way it's going to last long, it's fitted right, it's not going to bubble. And so that's the way to do it right. There's various carpets and different things. The very best carpet, a wool carpet, quality carpet, will have a bit of give in it. And often you need to go back a couple of months later and re-stretch it and trim it a wee bit and kick it in. We had a job just last week where a lady had the carpet fitted, not by us. It was done reasonably well, about 18 months ago, and we had a wee spell of hot weather. And what happened was with the hot weather, it expanded. So she was getting these lumps, and it was just slight ripples. As I say, it wasn't a lot, but she paid an awful lot of money. It was very, very expensive stuff. So you can understand she was quite fussy about it. So really to sort that, what you need to do is move all the furniture, re-kick it, stretch it, trim it down a wee bit. But one of the tricks that we used, just as a temporary fix, is there was a wee bit that was just like that, so we got some lukewarm water and a brush and did that, and dabbed it all the way down. And water will never harm a carpet as long as there's no dirt in it. And then it's just like a wool jumper. When that dries, it will bring it in a wee bit, and it will just shrink slightly, and that will get rid of the unevenness. So that's it for today. If there's any questions, fire them away.
So what's your best type of customer, Alistair?
Best type, the ideal one is really volume, a decent sized job, something that's not too big, because like something like a Hilton Hotel or something is too big for me as a small independent business. But I could do a 5 or 6 bedroom hotel. I actually quoted stuff in this hotel, they've got 130 odd bedrooms, but it was a rolling programme, so that would be ideal to just keep going. So something like that would be really good because it's a decent sized one, but we can do it in wee chunks. On the domestic side, ideal is to do a whole house. I mean, we'll quite happily go and just do a bathroom. I mean, it might just be 80 quid or 100 quid, no problem, but not a lot of money to do, not a lot of work. So the ideal is somebody that's moving into a house and want the whole thing done, top to bottom. We can do stairs, landings, we can do the bathrooms, everything, and that's great. If they're spending £2,000 or £3,000, it's a nice job, easy to do, and good money in it. Does that
Yes.
That's brilliant. Thanks very much, Alex.